Hello, Blue Jays, and welcome to The Nest, stories about life after Manor College. I'm your host, Kelly Pfeiffer, Vice President of Marketing Communications, and this is the best part of my day. My hope is that this podcast will encourage, inform, and inspire you, making you feel like at Manor College, you belong here always. Before we get to today's guest, it is time for a segment of the show I like to call Did You Know?, where we will share some fun facts about Manor College that you may or may not know. So, did you know that Manor College is currently enrolling students for our fall semester, and we're offering a program called the You Belong Here Advantage? Now, this program was designed to help students launch into college without the usual headaches and worries that might come with starting into a college experience. So, when students enroll as a new full-time, first-time student, they get some free, really great, incredible perks at no extra cost. One, they get a free laptop filled with Microsoft Office 365 ready to roll. They get free textbooks for all of their courses. There's a few exceptions for some of our allied health programs, but for the most part, if you're a student at Manor College, you're not going to have to pay for textbooks. They also get free 4 meals a week at our dining hall. So they get a meal plan that students can use for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, up to 4 free meals a week in our dining hall. And the last benefit they get with this You Belong Here Advantage is they get to utilize tuition-free summer classes for the following summer. So students can take summer classes in the summer of 2026 to kind of keep their college degree moving, get caught up on maybe classes they need to, and still not lose any time and really at really a very minimal tuition-free cost. This is a great benefit. I'm really encouraging people to check it out. It's called the You Belong Here Advantage. You can go to manor.edu and look under our admissions area, and you can learn more about it and get your application started today. Today's episode is sponsored by Manor College's School of Continuing Education. Elevate your career with a professional development certificate from Manor College. Boost your skills in business, cybercrime, child development, or leadership. Affordable, flexible, and designed for working professionals, certificates can be completed in as little as 9 months. Learn more at manor.edu/certificates and advance your future today. We have a truly special guest today. We are thrilled to welcome a dedicated educator making a real difference in our community. Coming from Philadelphia, attending Agora Cyber Charter School, and then going to earn her associate's degree in liberal arts from Manor College in 2016. From there, she continued her academic journey, earning a dual degree in special education K-12 and general education from Western Governors University. Today, she is shaping young minds at Cherry Hill Public Schools, specifically at the Malberg Preschool. She also serves as the school's representative for access and opportunity. Please give a warm welcome to Mariah Carroll. Hi, Mariah. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So can you start us off by sharing, how did you hear about Manor College and what made you decide to attend Manor?
Well, I was homeschooled growing up, and I wanted a nice transition into college life. Manor seemed like a nice, cute, quaint little school, family community. I thought that it would be like a good transitioning step for me.
That's great. I've never heard anyone describe Manor as cute, so I really love that. Personally, I think it's cute.
I think
Um,
it's cute.
I think it's cute, sure. Cute, quaint, but all right, that transitional, that foundation before you were going to go other places and do other things. And back when you attended, it was before we launched our bachelor degrees. So most of our students, they either got a career right away or they transferred to get more education. So that's really important, I think, to note there that we didn't offer bachelor degrees back in 2016. So you're an OG according to
Yeah.
us. That's pretty neat. So kind of what was your Manor experience like? Were you involved in any activities, and kind of what did you think of your classes?
I wasn't really involved in any activities. Again, I was kind of just getting my feet wet with being out of the house and doing my education. My classes were great. Being a liberal arts major, I took so many different types of classes, which helped me narrow down exactly what I wanted to do. I met great people, great professors. Professor Smallards has been I mean, to this day, my favorite professor.
Mm.
He just gave me a love for learning. And when he taught, it was as if he was telling a story. So it didn't feel like I was in class. It felt like I was like listening to a podcast or watching a movie. And I love that.
Yeah. Dr. Smolars, he was a history professor
Yes.
who's now at a different institution, and we wish him nothing but the best. And he telling a story is a good, really good description for how he taught. It was definitely, he is so knowledgeable about
So
so many
knowledgeable. Oh my
historical
gosh.
things, particularly like Philadelphia history. He actually wrote a book for Manor a number of years ago, maybe it was around our 75th anniversary, which was back in 2021. And he wrote like our Manor College history book. Like one of those
Oh,
like historical books that you see in like, Walgreens and about like different towns. He wrote one about Manor.
awesome.
And it was really cool to kind of watch him go through this process of learning about the sisters and Manor in kind of our really like hyper local area. That's great. And I think it's great that you talked about how like being a liberal arts student gave you a little taste of lots of different things so you could kind of narrow in on what you like. So when you were here for 2 years and then you decided to transfer, what were your next steps and what was kind of your next plan after transferring?
My next plan was to really figure out what it was I wanted to do with my liberal arts, what direction I wanted to go in indefinitely. Ultimately, I decided nursing, and I applied and I was accepted into. However, I had an experience there with racism that kind of changed my career paths. Meeting with my advisor, I explained to her the importance of me wanting to become a nurse, and that was the major that I wanted to do. And she looked at me and said, people like you have a hard time in the sciences. And I kind of just stood there for a minute, just to make sure I was hearing her correctly. And I said, what do you mean by that? And then she shows a picture, she pulls up a picture on the computer of this black man and say, people that look like you two have a hard time with the sciences. So at that point, I kind of just like got up and left. It was really sad that I had to experience
Mm,
that because I never had the best experience with teachers or
mm,
school or education in
mm,
general. So that was just like another kind of like fuel to the fire, which ultimately helped me shape my I it helped me shape who I wanted to be in the future.
mm,
And it helped me realize who I didn't want to be. And I wanted to be someone who inspired people and gave them a love for learning and a place of safety
mhm,
and fulfillment other than maybe breaking someone down and making them feel sad about themselves. So that's basically how I got into education. Um, Again, like I've never had the best experience with education, with teachers, with bullying, with
mm.
just anything. And the Westchester thing kind of just added fuel to the fire. And I knew exactly what kind of educator I didn't want to be.
Wow. Well, I'm so sorry you had that experience. It's just hard to really understand where that advisor was coming from, and like just it's so
Was
wrong on so many levels. We all know that, but I think it says so much about you and your character in that like you took that situation to say like, okay, this is actually what my passion is. I need to become an educator. I need to help others feel not this way, and change this narrative because frankly, it's not true, and I'm going to be part of the solution. Um,
absolutely.
and I mean that's incredible that you were able to kind of like pick yourself up and let's get on this path to becoming an educator.
Mhm.
And I mean, you've become an educator. You're working as a preschool teacher, and I saw that you got an award, a best of exceptional educators from South Jersey Magazine. I mean, so not only have you become an educator, you've become an exceptional educator that's getting awards in magazines. What does that mean to you to have that kind of recognition, particularly this early in your career too?
It means the world to me.
Mm,
Like, I am so honored to have gotten that award. It makes me feel seen. It makes me feel heard. It makes me, um, it I know this is going to be cut.
yeah,
I'm like stumbling on my words.
it's fine. You're good.
Um, it, I'm looking for the word that I want to say. It makes me feel seen. It makes me feel heard.
Hmm.
Um, and it definitely makes me happy that I chose to be an educator.
Mm, right.
It just
It like gives you
reaffirms
that reassurance that like, oh
a
yeah,
hundred
I
percent.
picked the right thing.
I did the right thing. I decided to
Mhm.
do preschool because,
Mhm.
like, with school, you start young with if you like education or not.
Yeah.
So my whole thing was, if I can get kids to love education and going to school and learning at an early age, that would
Mhm.
be the foundation for their learning moving forward.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, just as like a personal note, I have 3 small children, 6, 4, and 1, so I'm very much into the preschool age. My oldest is just finished kindergarten. My middle is she's been in little preschool. She's going to like real preschool next year, and my 1-year-old she's just 1. She's just having fun. But like I fully as a parent see so much value in like elementary educators, particularly preschool educators. I mean, it is hard because you're trying to teach them like school stuff. You're also trying to like teach them social skills, personal space, body things, about your
Mhm,
own body and going to the
mhm.
bathroom and tying your shoes and like blowing your nose. Like it's not just teaching curriculum. It is a
100%.
holistic, it is everything.
A
Um,
hundred percent.
so thank
And
you
with
so
like,
much for what you're
and
doing.
oh, absolutely. I mean, I get exhausted at the end of the day, but that's okay.
I fully understand that 100%. But that is so cool that you are able to kind of like see your own like educational journey and now kind of like almost like a full circle moment, like being
Yeah,
able to do this as
it
a
does
career.
feel like a full circle.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Thank you.
So Mariah, as we kind of like wrap up our time together, what
Mhm.
advice would you give to like current Manor students who are, taking classes and, being a college student is challenging and you might have moments where you're doubting yourself and those kind of things. What advice would you give them to encourage them?
My advice would be to just go with it. Honestly, if you mess up, you mess up. You learn from the experience. If you decide that whatever you're majoring in, you don't want to do, you still have time. You're really young. Um, do what you want, follow your heart. Don't do something that you think is going to make you a lot of money, even though money's important, but do something that you'll love to do, because if you love to do it, you're not really going to work.
Right. Right. Keep going. Do what you love to do. It's
Keep
it's
going,
simple,
see
but
how
it's
you can
tried
make a
and true.
difference.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. And then kind of I like asking this question too. What's like a misconception or a myth about teachers that you want to kind of like debunk? I like asking this
Oh my
question.
gosh. That we get the whole summer off, and yeah, that whole thing, we earned that summer off. And it's not even the whole summer if you do summer school, which I'm starting next week.
Oh my
So
goodness. Oh my goodness. Yes.
yes. So like, it
Right.
takes a while for us to kind of like get back into that teaching mode for September. Like, we
Right.
need that summer to
Right.
get our minds right.
Right, right. That is such a good one. Summers off really isn't summers off, and it is well
No.
deserved. I love
Yes,
that so
yes,
much. Yeah.
100%.
Oh, well, that's great. Well, Mariah, thank you so much for being with us today. It has truly been a joy talking to you, hearing your story, and I always like to share with alumni who particularly I feel like are really living out the Manor mission. In our mission, we talk about, our goal is to prepare students to graduate to serve society effectively and compassionately. I mean, everything that you're doing is hitting that to a T. So thank you so much for just
Thank
really
you.
embodying the Manor College mission and going out there and preparing others to be good human beings and to just the world needs that. Philadelphia needs that. New Jersey needs that. So I'm just so grateful that you're doing that, and you're doing it exceptionally well. So we're so proud of you and
Thank you.
wishing you nothing but the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for tuning in today. If you like what you heard, listen and subscribe on Spotify or YouTube and stay up to date with all new episodes by following Manor College on Instagram at Manor College. And that's a wrap on another episode of The Nest, stories about life after Manor College. Remember, Blue Jays, you belong here always.